pissing and moaning. Irish middleweight Gary Spike O'Sullivan, who they were going to fight, is now fighting on Friday night's card. Sergey Devonchenko also wants to step in for Alvarez. However, the unbeaten Ukrainian's mandatory challenger for Golovkin IBF middleweight title. Lou DiBella is Devonchenko's manager and has petitioned the IBF to either force Golovkin to defend it or relinquish it on May 5th.
Doing good. That's it. I mean, look, Lee, you're hitting all angles there. They're I don't know what they're going to do. I think the fight gets canceled now overall. They might bring Golovkin back.
I don't know why they just don't sign Devonchenko. Obviously, it's not that big deal of a fight. Obviously, he wants too much money, right?
Or why don't they go back to the kid, the undefeated kid from Tijuana? If they're moving the fight to StubHub, California might pass that fight. California don't really know what they're doing.
Well,
right?
They can drop the prices on the seat down to $20. It's
the
easier.
Kid's undefeated.
The production,
28-0
the
and
production.
24.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, whatever, bro. They can sell that. There's a ticket there. He's 21 years old. No, he's from Tijuana. You're right. Bring the ticket prices down, but I think there's a fight there.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, look, the obvious fight should be Derevanchenko, Shamalama Ding Dong, right? But there's Andrade. They talked about Jaime McGuinn. Vanis Matrosian has volunteered for the fight. Vanis Matrosian makes the most sense, and I'll tell you why. You get Vanis, right, who's out of Glendale.
You nailed it. Damn, Lee's on fire. Yep.
Of course. I know Vanis. We've had him on this show. I Vanis.
Just thought about that. He always brings a crowd.
He always brings the Hair Bear Armenian crowd. Oh, well, that'll piss off the Armenian crowd. The Hair Bears will show up. The Armenians will sell out StubHub. Never mind the Mexicans collecting cans at the side of the freeway.
He'll bring a group. You're right. You're
going to let that one slide, too? You're literally going to let collecting cans slide. You are so slow today.
You're terrible.
Did you not have coffee?
I'm not feeding the monster, dude. You're terrible. Everyone else catches it.
You know what? It's the cleanest LA will look for a short period of time, just to go see Gennady Golovkin. I'm a Mexican. Buy into the hype of that, man. Fight somebody, you bastard! Stop screwing it up and move it to Vegas.
It's out of Vegas. I think.
Don't. Fucker. Fucking up my weekend.
You see Bob Arum, Lee? You see what he tried to do?
No. What? Okay, hold on. Bob Arum. We asked about airing Golovkin's May 5th on ESPN. Hall of Fame promoter confirmed to BoxingScene.com. Story by Keith Heidick. Top ranks Todd DeBoof called Tom Loeffler, Golovkin's promoter, last week to gauge his interest in moving Golovkin's fight from HBO to ESPN. Part of the job, our job at ESPN, is to get the best fights possible, Arum said. And since HBO looked like they were reluctant to buy Golovkin's fight, Todd called up Loeffler and offered to buy it. Smart move. So now they're brokering ESPN fights.
Yeah. They're running ESPN right now, top rank. You imagine if they would have got Triple G on their air? They might fire Peter Nelson that day. What a gift to the boxing world if that would have happened, huh?
Not bad.
Triple G on you're getting Horn.
There's
Jeff
no way
Horn
HBO's going to let it go. They'll look, if it's in Vegas or LA, they'll make the fight happen. Well, what I was thinking, Andrew? What about that white guy with the mustachio, Gary O'Sullivan? What does he have to say? Well, before he signed a fight with Oscar, this is what he had to say. I agreed to the Golovkin offer. Then the money was halved. Right.
Yeah.
See, they're cheaping out on this. Golovkin was originally scheduled to fight Canelo, for those of you who don't know. A few days into it, they offered it to Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Nothing better than beating up the whitest white guy ever.
But listen.
Gary O'Sullivan is as white as it gets.
I know, but what I want people to understand is he's still a risk. And I don't think Golovkin deserves that on a turnaround like this.
O'Sullivan is not a risk to
Yes, he
anybody.
is, Lee. Not on a plan B. You don't fight top 10 contenders. You don't do it.
If you're Gennady Golovkin, you do.
He's 36 years old and looked very, normal in his last two outings. Daniel Jacobs and Saul Alvarez both looked like they were on the better side of those fights at the end. Now, you can say Golovkin won because early he put up a lot of points, but in both fights, people, if you watch the end, the last 3 rounds, it is Gennady Golovkin that looks old and tired, especially in that Triple G, in the Canelo one, where Canelo swept the last 3 rounds, easy on all those scorecards. So he's got a risk here. He only has a few more paydays, especially a big one like he was going to make with the Canelo rematch. You don't take on Daniel Jacobs. You don't take on O'Sullivan. You don't take on Andrade. This is why I said the Jaime.
That's why you take Vanes Motrosian.
Yes.
Vanes
or Jaime
in
Muniga.
StubHub sells 5,000 tickets without even batting an eye.
That's absolutely correct.
The entire Armenian community is there. And
Lee, the diehard Triple Gs are going to show up for the fight. It's not his fault. They were still going to watch it.
Yeah, but it's not enough time for them to clean up the freeways, Andrew.
Hey, well, that's Loafer's fault. Tom Loafer's. He needs to pull the trigger on it.
I believe it's Loeffler.
Whatever his name is, Lee.
Shamalama ding dong.
He needs to pull the trigger on an opponent and stop trying to favor or
I'm
play
pissed off it's at the StubHub. It needs to be in Vegas. MGM!
Hey Lee, when did HBO become so demanding on opponents all of a sudden? Haven't we seen all the crap fights they've been putting out and now all of a sudden they're picky with Triple G? No, they don't want to lose Triple G's market by putting him in the fight on a fast turnaround against the top 10 contender, and he loses. Because people, his last 2 fights, I got to keep going back to that. The guy didn't look too good. They got to be careful here. I think me and Lee just gave you guys the best names for this May 5th card to continue.
I think it's Motrosian. If they're smart, you get Motrosian.
And I totally agree with you.
They can sanction Vanes for all those belts pretty quickly.
I like my guy because he's Mexican, he's undefeated, he got power. There's a ticket there to sell with the Mexican community.
Not enough time to collect cans for the fight.
You're an asshole. You are being an asshole this morning. No, I'm just kidding, Lee.
Canelo denies cosmetic surgery. Says the right knee was worked on. Former world champion Saul, I didn't have steroids stuck up my ass, Canelo Alvarez, has issued a statement which disputes earlier statements, which disputes statements, which disputes other statements, which his promoter Golden Boy disputed the statements about disputing the statements. Golden Boy has confirmed reports from Mexico revealing that Canelo underwent surgery on Friday at a private hospital in Jalisco. Nothing says surgery like going to Jalisco.
And the only reason why they did this, Lee, for his next failed drug test, it will probably be because he was healing from this surgery.
But Golden Boy stated his surgery was cosmetic. Yet Canelo says, no. Look at that photo with the thumbs up. Yes, they operated on Canelo Alvarez, but it was cosmetic. There are no more details, said a spokesman for ESPN Deportes and Golden Boy. Reports surfaced Friday morning that Canelo entered the hospital to undergo arthroscopic knee surgery, but these reports were never confirmed by Golden Boy. But now Canelo has come out personally confirmed that the information from Mexico was indeed accurate. I want to share with you today that I underwent arthroscopic knee ¿Cómo se dice arthroscopic? Surgery. ¿Cómo se dice arthroscopic? To repair the internal... There are people who know Spanish that literally went, is Lee like bilingual? You'll never know.
Please do it.
Go collect cans and get ready for the Triple G fight. Internal femoral cartilage and to eliminate the fold in my right knee. I dismissed the erroneous. ¿Cómo se dice erroneous? Information published by Golden Boy president Eric Gomez. Thank you for worrying. Nobody's worrying about you. Nobody's worrying about you, Canelo. They're not.
I'm a little upset with
Thanks for worrying.
Lee,
who wrote this for him?
Where are the memes of Canelo kissing horses, dude?
Oh, my God.
Why didn't De La Hoya ever run with that?
Thanks for worrying, and in 3 or 4 weeks, I'll be like new. Thanks for worrying. Who wrote this for him? Thanks for worrying. Canelo will so he's going to hobble to Vegas, right? Canelo will take part of his hearing on April 18th at the Athletic Commission in Nevada. At the hearing, Canelo will be facing up to a 1-year suspension because of his cooperation. The boxer is potentially going to receive a 50% reduction of that sentence, and that would make him capable of fighting again in August. Canelo will not attend a hearing personally. Of course not. But he will be connected via telephone with his legal representatives, will attend the hearing to discuss the doping tests that took place on February 17th and 10th. By the way, 2 different dates, people, where he tested dirty. The Mexican superstar was scheduled to fight middleweight king Gennady Golovkin on May 5th at the T-Mobile Arena. Last week, Canelo withdrew from the contest after being placed under a temporary suspension by the Nevada Athletic Commission. In other words, they knew that they weren't going to be able to make the fight, so he didn't even train. I'm starting to think that knee was worse than anybody led on to believe. Right? I'm starting to believe that the testing dirty was to get him out of the fight so he could have the knee work done.
And Lee, you might be correct on that. We're going to find that out in 3 days when they tell us the levels of this clenbuterol that was in Canelo's system.
Great. So great. So he's taking clenbuterol to strengthen up his knee before the fight and try to get through training. Yeah, now it's making a lot more sense.
What if it is what you just said, though? He tore his knee in training. They want to hide that. They don't want to say Canelo needs knee surgery, right? The fight's off. So you say, oh, look, we found a 0.1. People, I'm not a scientist. I don't know what these levels are that makes it you injecting it in your ass or you kissing a horse. But whichever one it was, if they tell us it was kissing, it's possible he just kissed his horse and got a little bit of it in him. Lee, it could be what you said. Yeah, he might have hurt his knee a lot worse than what people are saying. He might have a Sergio Martinez type incident in the rematch with Triple G, right? Where you come in the ring, get hit with one left hook by Cotto and tear your knee all over again. So they said, no, fight off.
You don't know.
We will see on the 18th.
And by the way, be tuned into FightNetRadio.com. We'll have updates on the Facebook page and possibly even live commentary. I'm not going to Vegas to go get live interviews, but
did you see the internet with the steak? They put Canelo's thumbs up in the hospital. They put a steak on his lap. People are so mean.
I don't. How does he doesn't have any found. He does. There's no way. There's no way that he has any fans left.
His fan base got hurt on this one. I'll tell you that. I got a lot of people that are upset with Saul Alvarez right now, just for a simple fact that this fight is off. He messed up pretty big here. No one likes cheaters, Lee. I'm telling you, we like to see that guys are dedicated to the sport, right? It's their craft. It's their machismo, right? That's what got him that win. It's his skill, his technique. He's a legend. Not steroids. You're on PEDs. What? Anyone can do that. And I'm not saying anyone can be an athlete, but you can take a normal athlete and put him on PEDs and make him something special. That's why it's not fair.
There you go. Leo Santa Cruz. Abner Mares. I'm just rolling my R's. Staying away from eating meat. Miguel Ravira.
They're just kicking him while he's down, right?
No shit. Miguel Ravira, boxing scene, reports some Mexican boxers have shown solidarity with the situation that affected compatriot Canelo Alvarez after his positive test for clenbuterol for a supposed consumption of red meat in his country. However, the boxers like Abner Mares and Leo Santa Cruz, prevention is better than a cure. I agree. Right now, I do not eat meat, much less from Mexico, said Mares to ESPN Deportes. It's prevention totally apart from that. I do not usually eat meat during training camps. I eat fish and pure white meat. Mares, who is currently in an exhaustive preparation for his rematch on June 9th against WBA featherweight champion Leo Santa Cruz, said the Nevada State Athletic Commission may have been a bit rough on the boxer by temporarily suspending him. It is a very serious situation personally for me, being an active fighter. I think they were a bit hard. I think they wanted to make an example with Canelo. I feel bad for him and for all people who were waiting for this fight. I feel that the Nevada Commission was a bit strict, said Mares. Sorry. Mares. Meanwhile, Santa Cruz, who is governed by strict diet, commented on the case by Alvarez.